Hello, everyone. It's October 13th. This is James Strong. This is the SIG-Ingress NGINX sub-project meeting for SIG networking, which means it is subject to the CNCF Code of Conduct, which means be kind to everyone. If you have any issues, please report those to myself or Ricardo or the SIG networking leads or the CNCF themselves. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. As I was saying at the beginning of the meeting before we started recording, was not prepared for this, so I don't have a list of things for us to go through from action items. We can go back and look at what we need to discuss. We've got a couple things for KubeCon that we probably want to discuss with the community. We started looking at that, got some of the survey results back. But I think the big thing we want to make sure is that we do the issue triaging, because I noticed there was a lot of discussion and the 100 or so responses about issue triaging. So I want to make sure that we do that before we jump into the project stabilization and the big success that Ricardo's had over the past week or so. So I'm going to go ahead and we can jump into issue triaging. I think everyone here is introduced themselves, but if you are new and you want to introduce yourselves, what you're talking about with the project, or if there is anything that we need to discuss, go ahead and drop those in the chat so we can pull those up when we get to them. Anybody have any open topics we need to discuss or want to introduce themselves?
Someone is new here?
I was just
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, so my name is João. I'm 20 years old. I'm Brazilian as well. Well, I've been using Kubernetes for a while now, and I'm trying to get into it. I'm trying to contribute a little more. So just here to, as a listener, want to learn something new. So I hope you guys will see me in the future too. So thank you. And well,
Ricardo, I thought he was your student.
Oh, I was what?
I thought he was your student.
Yeah, he's not, but it's amazing having more Brazilians here. We can start speaking in Portuguese and we don't care about you folks. You now need to learn Portuguese instead of us speaking English. I don't care.
Not very nice, Ricardo.
I'm sorry. Welcome.
Give me a good time. Welcome.
I will bring Carlos and Amim to this meeting as well. Then we are going to be the majority here.
Yeah. Was it Ro? Is that how you pronounce it?
It's João, but if you want
Joe.
to call me John, don't worry.
No. I want to make sure we get it right. Joe. All right. Thank you for joining. That's awesome. If you have any questions about issues or things like that, or how we proceed through things, feel free to hit us up in the Ingress Dev Slack. So thank you for joining. With that, we will start the triaging of issues as soon as I can find the share button. It's like I've never used Slack or technology before.
Even because this is Zoom and not Slack.
I know.
You are looking on the wrong place probably.
Yeah, I've got 48 inches of screen and I've got too many tabs open.
I know the pain.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. 11:09. I just want to keep track of the time. Alrighty. So as always, we want to start looking at the needs triage and priority issues. So let's go ahead and jump into them. Is there any that anyone knows about that we should look at before we just go through the list?
Ricardo mentioned about the default backend, and it was iffy until a little while ago, but one or two issues have come in, so it looks like we should look at it and replace and make sure that it's our own image that we use. So background is that if we enable default backend, it uses an image that's on GCR, but that we don't maintain, and it's like real old. So first problem somebody reported was it's offering one TLS 1.1 and it should not be. And now just now somebody else is reporting that it's also exposing 3 endpoints.
You talking about this one, 9155?
That's one, and there's one more.
Yeah. This is one that was really good that someone took on Slack actually, because we use an image that we don't maintain and no one else maintains as well, right? So it's gonna be probably a really good first issue, at least to assemble this as a small NGINX container or something, or even like a Python container just running like port 8080 with a default backend or something like that. But we need to have something that's built from our images and not using this one anymore because it's not maintained. I think we can accept this one. But is there another issue, Long, or this is the one that's mapping everything? I think this is the one mapping, right?
This one is a new one, but the other one which you commented and somebody and there's a PR which has come in. If you go to PRs, a PR came in just a little while ago, where
pull requests.
I was just looking at the images. I didn't realize that we were using.
Yeah, neither did I. I was sure that this image was ours actually. I was like, okay, this is ours, and this person actually came to SIG-Network or SIG-Case Infra asking, and then I directed this person like, hey, can you go to our Slack channel because this is ours? And then I realized that this is actually not ours, but yeah.
So you say that somebody's already got a PR to fix it?
I didn't saw a PR.
Oh, okay.
Is it the last one?
I thought, okay. Yeah, that's an issue. So do we just want to? I mean, the shortcut is to just pull that image in and maintain it like we do with our other images. Do we want to do that, or do we not want to keep replicating?
So this image is actually something from Google. It's Ingress GCE, right? So that's their code. There is a repo, but they are not building automatically anymore.
Oh, okay.
So I think that I don't think we should fork because they are using like a Go program that answers HTTP, whatever. I think we can just have some really simple HTTP server that can be the default backend, right? Otherwise, it's just gonna be another image with CVEs, blah, 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 whatever. So
yeah.
But Ricardo, there is two issues, right? One is that when there is no match for the host name in the incoming request, only then it comes here to default backend, right?
No, I'm right now. I'm just thinking on the problem on the default backend image. I don't know what's the host one right now, or if I commented, I can't remember.
So I'll try to get
can you send those? What?
Yeah, I'll try to get the Slack. So the problem the guy is talking about is that first and foremost, he's talking about tackling the TLS response from default backend.
Okay, hold on. You tagged me on Slack, and I'm not gonna say that I've been too active in Slack other than just sending you messages about how many tests failures I'm getting. So let me see.
I'm checking the thread. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I just keep missing those. Where is this one? Is this something with the Helm chart one? Can you tag me again, please?
Yeah. I'm trying to get to that thread.
Yeah, okay. Because I mean, I would like at least to separate if those are like different problems. One is just maintaining the default backend image, and the other one it's like the way that we pass hosts or whatever to the default backend pod. I think those are two different problems, and we need to deal with them differently, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've accepted this one.
Let's move in. Tag me again, Long. I will take a look into that.
Okay.
Please. Thank you, man.
Joe, if you want to set up some time, I can walk you through this one on how we do images and things like that, and you could help replace the images. And I think this, I agree with Ricardo. I think this would be a good first one.
João is actually on the top of the Go view chat, if I recall correctly, right?
Oh, I thought that.
Yeah.
Familiar.
It's me. Well, okay. I think we can do this asynchronously. I'll call you later. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Awesome. That's not what I wanted to look at. Ingress generate wrong location if you use a regex. What's the old adage? If you have a problem that can be solved by regex, you have two problems now.
If you are using regex, you are wrong.
But we support it, so let's go ahead and look.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know. Contains wrong location when I use a regex path without the tilde modifier.
What's the path? Okay. The path generates that thing. Ah, I see. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure this is if this worked before on some previous releases, but so if it worked, it's a bug. If it didn't work, it's a feature, right? Do you remember if this worked before? Someone already tried this before?
Yeah, I don't remember this one at all.
Yeah, let's accept this one. I think it's accepted, and let's say that let's ask some more information. Like, hey, can you test on like, did this work it before for you, or not? Right? Because yeah, I think it's something related with what?
You think it's a regression?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think it is, but I don't remember any of us messing with the regex annotations. But
there's a guy called Henry from Singapore who put in a fix for it's a related issue where if you don't use a host name, or if you put two, or if you use regex, or if you use two annotations together without host name, anything like that, it messes with the location. So we'll have to look it up.
So it is something. It is a bug, or not? Oh, hold on. Scroll
I
up
was
a bit,
looking for
James.
version.
It's a use case. I'm not seeing it.
This I don't
This
think
is
it
not
was us.
ours.
Yeah, this is I just thought. Yeah, I was looking for the version and there it is. That's NGINX.
Okay.
That's an NGINX open source. So we'll pass that off to Dylan.
Where is Carl? Dylan is here.
But that's
You are muted, Dylan.
Let me pull that
Now
one.
you are muted. Yeah.
I'm unmuted now. Sorry, I was
Yeah.
talking
This is
to the VM
weird.
on the back end. Let's see.
That's very weird. Because if you look at this, it says he's using our bare metal installer, but the version.
And he's using some yeah, even like the args. The args he's using in
This
NGINX
is
plus
very
equals to
weird.
false. Yeah. Something is not.
And yeah,
Yeah.
so there's something very wrong here. Because he says he's using the NGINX stable, but when we go into the outputs and things, he's using our bare metal deployment. I have no idea what's going on here.
Or is he saying that on the NGINX one it works and in ours not? Can we check if this is something? Blah 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 blah. Scroll down.
What I expect.
NGINX Ingress controller version. Blah blah blah. Whatever I'm using. Yeah, it's wrong.
And then he says,
So,
yeah, it says here that he's using stable. Yeah, there's some confusion in here. Let me I'll take the action item to write this out. You guys don't have to sit and watch me type out a response.
Thank you.
Okay. Don't want to waste our precious time. Sticky sessions extend the time until a cookie expires on every request. That's a feature request. We need a tag for the feature requests while we're still not accepting them. Do we have one? I don't think we ever introduced one.
Lifecycle frozen, maybe.
That's fair.
Hey, James.
Hello.
The 9152, issue 9152 and was issue about TLS. I think they are both related or need to be worked on together. Because they're both solving the same problem, vulnerability. So Ricardo, I think the chat was with Wow on TLS, and but there's also 9152, which is talking about 3 endpoints being exposed from default backend, which will ultimately
Okay.
end up being customer error pages image.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
maybe we
okay.
can. Yeah, we need to track. Yeah, and maybe we should use the custom error for everything, as it already does almost all of the things and contains the same problems, right?
What was the
Yeah.
other one, Long?
9152 and the was 9155.
Oh, this is the default backend. So, okay, you think they're related?
Yeah, so default backend, we can't use the current image that is configured in value sample. We have to switch to custom error pages image. And if we do, when we do, there is 3 endpoints on custom error pages that need to be disabled.
Okay.
So Huawei is here, I think he can comment, we can take care of both.
Well, I'm not sure. Honestly, I already assigned the Govern check, and there's the leap year 1 too that I'm willing to start. So,
But yeah, I'll add this one. I'll add it to the I'll accept the triage and we can look at it.
Ricardo, you're seeing that, right?
Yeah.
We dump that image that's currently configured in value sample, and we just fix custom error pages to not have these 3.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And also remove deprecated TLS protocols.
We can do all of those in this image and maybe use custom error as the default backend as well. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah. But later on, I think offline, we should not waste time now, but offline we should, I think you need to comment on why on it. Okay. I'll talk to you offline. How can you give TLS response from default backend is a confusion.
How what? Long, sorry.
Default backend is routed to when there is a mismatch or there is no match for any rule.
Yeah.
No rule matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then how do you give a TLS response? You can't possibly match all FQDNs, possible FQDNs that somebody in like bazillions possible, right? So how do you give a TLS response there?
I don't think I'm following.
Yeah,
So it's not going to match on the default backend. So if there's not if the host doesn't match anywhere, it's going to go to the default backend.
No. So the default backend, so you have the front and virtual host, right? And then you say my default backend, it's just this one. So you pass the host header to the default backend, and then the default backend can or cannot be configured to answer based on the host header, right?
Yeah, but beyond that, the host header can be anything. Like we can't have a certificate there, so it'll always be fake
Yeah,
certificate.
so you pass actually. No. Hold on. I think we are going too far here. But let's try to discuss that. Let's try to discuss that offline, because the
Yeah.
problem with the default backend, it's just like you can have anything as soon as it understands the X forwarded headers, right? So the X forwarded for the maybe
Yes.
even the host and whatever. We can
Right.
keep it simple in our case and say, hey, our default backend is just gonna answer like okay or not okay, not found, something like that. And in the future, we can even create a demonstration on how using the default backend with something different. Like the default backend, it's gonna answer like
But,
this whole /paths wasn't found, right? So we
right,
can
but the
just
whole response is over HTTP, right? Not TL. It's not a TLS response, right?
yeah, maybe okay, maybe the response that we are missing there, it's like the front end is answering with TLS. But I think I need to stop and understand that better.
Yeah, yeah. So let's
let's
talk offline. Let's talk
Yeah.
offline,
Yeah.
because whole issue and what he's talking about is TLS in that response.
Okay. Let's look at this one. This will be our last one. But I know that we've had performance test issues before. We've got the memory issue, and I know we've got the performance testing. So let's see if this is see if they're doing anything out of the ordinary. So we can skip all the timeouts and everything. Didn't do a great job of formatting.
Yeah, we're still
Doesn't-
asking for information on this. We're still trying to gather information.
Yeah, I guess also there isn't information on the size of the cluster and things like that. Oh, there it is. We've been seeing a lot of cloud issues. I mean, I know we've got a lot of AWS and AKS issues. At least I've been feeling that. I don't know if anyone else agrees.
And the recent GCP issue about the port 0.
Yeah. I can't even, I wouldn't even begin to know where to look for the GCP stuff.
Yeah, if you see a trend, what's happening is people are not trying to use the static manifest for cloud. They're trying to use the help chart and then try to use values file for respective annotations and other configuration that needs to go in for the cloud, for their specific cloud.
I'm seeing 404s and 200. I'm seeing 404s and 508s in here. I'm not seeing. These look like issues with their backends and not with NGINX. If I'm reading this right.
So he's basically complaining that it's restarting.
Because I see it, there's 200 there. There's a 404 there. I think we need a little bit more information also about how he's got his load balancer configured as well. And it would be interesting to see these tests inside the cluster so we can completely remove Ingress. I think that might be something worthwhile. I think we just need to add a little bit more from a troubleshooting perspective on like testing things on single nodes. I think we need to add a little bit more of just like how to do the troubleshooting, make sure your services are up and running, and then move out from there to the cluster and trying to isolate where the actual issue is. Because just dumping error logs out here like this, that's not helping anyone.
But in this context, he's talking about restart. So it could be restarting because he doesn't have enough compute on the nodes. He's talking about restarts.
Well, there's also we need some memory stats here then too. All right, I will take the I'll add my response to those two. So I've got two to respond to because I know we've got a couple of people on the call that probably want to talk about what they've been working on so we can discuss those. And I've noticed too, just in general, the troubleshooting pages aren't really helpful because we've got a whole debug tool that we place in there, and I've not seen any notes on how to use that thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we were just getting ready to go talk to you, Ricardo. So who wants to talk first? We want to talk about the Go vulnerability scanning, the DPCP split, or open telemetry.
I can go really fast. Sorry, I was writing that because I wasn't paying attention to the issues. Unless someone else wanna talk. Can I?
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe. Okay, cool. So CPDP split. I've been fixing the tests. I've been fixing some things. I've been finding the end-to-end tests. They are actually finding some real bugs as well. So right now we have just 40 tests failing, which is amazing because we had 80 on Sunday and 120 last week. My plan it's for because I am kind of on vacation today until Monday. My plan is to see if I can fix at least more 50% of the tests, and then doing some real closing some real things like, hey, now we have end-to-end tests. We know that the tests they are working, and we need to figure out how to solve now the other things like load balancing, reconnection between control plane and data planes, even writing some end-to-end tests on that, scalability, adding compression, testing the scalability of the split and so on. Jintao made some reviews. I didn't saw the reviews yet. I told him because I'm trying first of all to have the end-to-end tests working, and then I will I promise Jintao, I'm not ignoring you. I will take a look into all of the reviews, and even I will do myself some reviews as well, because I know that I left a bunch of debugging things like printf, I'm here, klog.warning, now I'm here, and so on. Like the correct way of debugging things, right? Yeah, so that's all from my side. I hope that until Tuesday I have some more things to deal with to fix it actually. Then we can kind of sit down during KubeCon, after that, before that, and even next week, and have some where we are and how much time we need more to fix this. It's gonna make it easier for all of the other things. So far, I'm pretty happy with how this is going, because I know that like for the OpenTelemetry side, it's gonna be easier to implement this on the data plane now, being pluggable. I know that it's gonna be easier for us to start doing the cleanup of the code on the things that we know that we can remove and so on. By the way, we have that survey, and I think that in some time we would need to put on vote or discuss on the deprecation of things that we've been thinking on deprecating. I'm not sure if we should do that after or before KubeCon, right? But I think we should do that. That's all.
Yeah. Thanks, Ricardo. Thanks for all your hard work on that. How's open telemetry going, Isham?
That should be complete. I'm just looking for the review from you guys.
My bad. Sorry. It's not again, it's not that I'm ignoring, it's just like I'm really trying to focus on the split control plane and data plane. But I would maybe defer to Jintao if you can do some review on that, and we can do a release on the OpenTelemetry thing even before the split control plane and data plane, I think it's going to be fine for us to know how this is going to work.
And the PR is 9062.
9062. Thank you.
Only one or two? Esan, you had two?
There is one for documentation. I tried to make it small, so just to help with the review.
Okay.
Okay. Fine, Ricardo. Good. Awesome.
Yeah, I've made also an example that if you go, there's some documentation in comments.
Why the triage was never accepted.
I thought Ricardo wants Jinta to look at it. And you.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to add more to Gentiles because I would like to, this good open topic to move to, how's our Open Rusty upgrade going? Gentile?
Hi.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot right there.
It's almost midnight for Jintal, James. Take it easy.
Yeah. 12:30 in the night for him.
Yeah.
For
The
one,
question.
for one.
Yeah. Okay. I think this one is moving, right? Jintal?
Yeah, he said he's working on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm so busy.
Sorry, man.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure, like, if there's ingress work you're doing, this is probably the top priority. So ignore everybody else.
Poor guy.
No.
I don't think Jinta sleeps at night. He's awake at 2 in the night and 4 in the night and 6 in the morning.
Okay, I'll leave it to you, Gentile. Okay. Zhao, did you see the latest comment that I put on the Go vulnerability? So it's two. I think either just a summary on the GitHub action is fine, but as I was thinking about it more, when we do the vulnerability scans, we also drop them as a Serif report in the GitHub security tooling, which is unfortunately only available to the maintainers, probably because of the sensitivity of what's in those. So I'm stricken between those two, because right now if we find any of the vulnerabilities in the scans, I think the vulnerability scans with like Trivia and Gripe are in the GitHub summary action. And then the code QL, that all gets uploaded as a Serif report to GitHub security. So either way is fine by me. I don't know. Anybody else have any opinion on where those results should go?
I mean, it should be actionable. If vulnerability is found, it should be actionable. Any which way is fine.
Honestly, I didn't know about this Go check actually. You just comment. I'll take a look. I'm not that sure if I like it, the job summary, because honestly, I don't know how frequently we will look there and how fast these reports will come. So I did take a look at how can we do it, but I'm not too sure if it would be a good presentation of the results, you know. About this, sorry.
I agree, because I think the summaries don't alert people on issues because we don't have any things that connect like GitHub action output or failures. Like, do we want to fail? I don't know if we
Yeah.
want to fail if there's vulnerabilities found, because that's really the only way you get alerted if actions fail.
Yeah.
The only other option then is the Serif report to GitHub security.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with that, but I'll take a look, and maybe we can discuss later in Slack, because I don't know about service reports and stuff, so not too sure if I can comment about that right now.
Fine.
I thought about maybe commenting the PR, like which vulnerabilities were found, if any, but still, I don't know if commenting in an unrelated PR about some vulnerabilities actually help at all. So yeah, I'll take a look. I think we can discuss later.
I think if you can open an issue, that probably would be helpful. Just opening an issue if a vulnerability is found, and then once we do triaging, it comes up.
Yeah, would help. I think the only problem with this approach is that I'm not too sure how we can manage those issues to not be repeated, only using the action. So I don't know, if two PRs find the same vulnerability, how can we make sure not to report it more than once, so we spend a lot of issues in the project. So yeah, I don't know about that.
Right.
That would be, yeah, don't want to do that. Okay, well, we'll keep working on that. Thank you for that help.
James,
As far as-
we need to get quick comment from Ricardo on 9157, because that's potentially we don't know if that's existing vulnerability or not.
9157. Oh, this one. This one?
Yeah. So Ricardo, is this a vulnerability?
This one is
existing
NGINX,
vulnerability? Yeah.
but this is NGINX Plus. This is not ours.
Yeah, this is the one that's really weird, long, where it looks like they comment on both the bare metal deployment for us, but they also say they're using the NGINX stable Helm chart. So it's very confusing. I was going to follow up with this one offline.
Right. But do we have this vulnerability? Not necessarily, right? And by default, are we having a 60-second?
I don't think we're talking about the same one, because this isn't a vulnerability. This is just an issue. You said 9157?
Yes.
The ingress generating the wrong location if you use regex?
Oh, wait, no, I'm wrong. Wait, it's not 9157. So it's about a header. One sec. Oh, sorry, 91. No. Okay, I'll
Drop it
come back.
in dev if we don't get a chance to get to it.
Is it 9146? Is that the one you're looking for?
I'm checking. So he's basically saying there's a header that is, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, 9146. Thank you.
Yep.
So Ricardo, 9146 is saying that the default timeout or something is 60 seconds and all that, and that allows for a attack, low risk DOS.
So he's asking to be able to set that without server snippets.
Yep.
Hey, I'm back here. Sorry, folks.
If we want to change the ingress object, that's API changes. That's not something we can control. Because he's saying he wants to update it on individual ingress objects.
Yeah, Ricardo, that question for you. Do we have this vulnerability?
I wouldn't say this is a vulnerability.
This link you sent, hold on. I'm reading.
9146.
Client header timeout. Like blah 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 blah. I want to control.
I agree with you, Tao, that this does sound valuable to be able to update it, but there's only two ways to update things, right? In the config map or in annotations. We can't change ingress objects other ways unless it's in the API already.
Yeah, we can add it to annotation.
I didn't catch
Yeah,
that. Sorry.
I think it's I think it can work actually if it's just like a parameter that can be configured, right? So the idea of protecting to slow lore is it's okay. Maybe this should be a global thing as well, because you can, if someone configures this annotation on a specific ingress with a value too big, maybe can fall into the slow lorries for the whole NGINX anyway, right? So you have shared virtual hosts, and then I configure my client header for 5 seconds, and then James puts like 3 minutes or 3 hours. Someone that figures out can just abuse James virtual host and keep opening connections, and it's NGINX doesn't deal on that in a single way, right? So maybe we should have something like a client header timeout for each annotation, each ingress, and then a global configuration that an admin can say, hey, this is the maximum of client header timeout someone may have. Make sense?
So we want to add a specific annotation for client header timeout, but we also want a client header global timeout. And if the global is lower, we want to make sure that that one takes precedence.
We can have something like a default, a configurable, and a maximum global, right? So the default is the one that we are going to apply for everyone, like 10 seconds. Now imagine that you have something that's slower on the backend for the header timeout, and you don't want to create a new ingress controller just for that. It's a bad situation, but I've seen happening a lot, right? So you may want that specific ingress to increase the client header timeout for that, right? But you may want that person not to be able to pass like, hey, my client header timeout is going to be 5 hours. So the maximum that the ingress administrator added for this, it's like 10 seconds or 15 seconds. But this is something that would need to be discussed better. I mean, it's, as Gental said, it's valuable. I just don't think that this simplistic implementation is going to help, or it's just going to add a worse vulnerability on like someone with access to create a new ingress control, a new ingress object. It's just going to put like a huge value and know that that huge value can be used for a slow loris attack.
Agreed. Okay, so I'll add triage accepted and put it on the backlog.
But Ricardo, is the 60 coming from us, or is the 60 implied by upstream NGINX?
What? Sorry?
The 60 seconds. The 60 seconds is implied by upstream.
There is a default on that, right? Which is 60 seconds.
Default.
There it is, 60 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, we can allow someone to configure the default, like saying, hey, this comes from NGINX, but the default in the config map is like 15 seconds, right? So all of the objects, they are gonna win 50 seconds. But if you need something bigger than 50 seconds, you can configure in your own ingress object as soon as it doesn't surpass the maximum value allowed by the admin, right? So
that will be 60 itself, right? And the question was, the maximum allowed, will that be 60 or can it go beyond 60? We can't define something by ourselves, right?
That's the idea that we're discussing, is like, should we impose that maximum?
Okay, because what I was trying to get to was, if we mess with this, then will it impact WebSockets or anything of that nature?
I think this is not for the WebSocket actually long. The WebSocket, it's a different timeout.
Okay.
It's the keep alive timeout actually. It's the time that that communication keeps open until someone says, okay, you are open for too much time without any communication, right? Because the idea of the WebSocket, it's going to be something
Always
reactive.
open. Yeah.
You always open and you expecting that streaming someone pushing something, and sometimes that streaming just get closed by timeout or because it doesn't get any new bytes in the middle of that, right? I think this one it's different. I
Okay.
never saw a client header need to be bigger than like 10 seconds, right? Because it's like you sending, you opening the communication and saying, hey, NGINX, it's me, and this is what I want. So between the it's me and this is what I want, you cannot send anything and just keep filling the communicate the channels of the NGINX, right? So slow lower is it's based on that. And you kind of DOS your NGINX because you just fill all of the available connections with things saying, hey, wait a minute, I'm gonna send my things. Hey, wait a minute, I'm gonna send my things, and you never send. So you
Right.
keep that communications busy, right? So that's a different case in this case.
Okay. Okay.
All right. I accepted it anyway, but somebody's gonna have to get assigned to it, and we'll have to prioritize it. But as of right now, that's we're all pretty much maxed out. Okay, probably want to put lifecycle frozen on that one as well. We're about at time. Is there anything we need to discuss? I think everybody's got something that they're assigned to.
So I can give a quick update on the agent progress. I wish it was better news, but they restructured the team and it's been reassigned to a I don't know if you guys are familiar with Liam from the NGINX team, but he's taken that under his umbrella, and they did a review of the what they were planning to release, and they didn't really think there was enough there to make it compelling for the community. So it's being re-examined and they're building a bigger team around it now. So it's unfortunately that just means delays at this point. So, but I'll keep you guys posted as I get new information on when we're gonna turn that repo to open source.
Awesome. Thank you, Dylan, for tracking that down for us.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, folks. I think the next community meeting, I think lands on KubeCon week, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll probably cancel that one. Because we are presenting on Friday with our community updates, with where we're at in our plans. So I can drop the I'll drop the presentation in the Ingress Dev again. I started working on it a little bit more. It's got some of the survey results in there. I'm gonna also, we can post the non-PII results of the survey so that folks can have the raw data. So that link will be in the presentation. If there's anything you want to make sure that we do discuss at the KubeCon talk, please add comments and notes in the presentation. And yeah, if there's any issues or anything, you guys know how to reach us.
On that note, as far as how to reach people when we're live at KubeCon, what's the best way to go about doing that with you guys? So I'm trying to track you down IRL.
Just hit us up in Slack.
Okay, Slack. All right, will do.
Hey Dylan, just curious. I asked last time if the NGINX team is aware about the performance or reloading problems when the volume of config is really large. If they have thought about it, or if they are aware of it, or is it on their roadmap? Or
so I have those two issues you sent to me, and I was looking for a home for them, and I literally just found it this morning. So that's what I was distracted by, talking to Brian, he's the lead PM for NGINX Ingress inside the company. So I will bring, he specifically asked me to bring those issues to his attention out of the blue, and I was like, oh, hey, I have two things for you. So okay. Yeah, I found a home for them. I don't have an answer for you. So
got it. Okay, thank you.
Some progress. Thank you, Dylan, for helping with that. All right, folks. If I don't hear from you, it's great talking to you, and I will we'll see you in Slack.
All right. See you,
Thanks,
Coupon,
everyone.
hopefully.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Bye.
definitely. Bye.